We believe we have someone else on the line. Tristan?
Yes, we do. We've got another caller coming in just now. Hello, caller. You're on the air with Pony Radio.
Why do we have rules of evidence at all? I mean, why can't we put everything in front of the judge and the jury and let them sort it out for themselves? What do we need the rules for?
Why do we have rules of evidence? Let me see. If we didn't have any rules of evidence, Pascal, what do you think Tristan would do when it came to putting evidence in front of the jury?
You know, I shudder to think.
Exactly. He might put anything in, right?
He certainly
There
would.
would be nothing to prevent him from deciding to put in the telephone book.
Yeah.
And then sit there and read it.
Yeah.
Because there'd be no ground for objecting to him reading the telephone book. And you know, sometimes in legislatures, there are people who don't like the bill that's being on the floor. And what they will do is they will sit and read out of the telephone book until everybody gets so tired, they just say, let's call it off and go home. That's called a filibuster. Well, you can't allow people to have that kind of filibuster freedom in putting evidence in court. So you've got to have some sort of rule about when things can come in and when things are not to be considered. At least it has to be what they call relevant, but that word relevant doesn't mean much by itself.
It certainly doesn't mean much to Tristan.
Well, that may be, and so therefore Tristan would have to learn that it meant relevant to some issue that the law said was important in determining the results of the case that's being tried. So you have to know the law and what the claims are in the case that's in front of the court to determine and figure out what relevant evidence might be as opposed to irrelevant evidence. And if it's not relevant, well, it shouldn't come in. You have to at least have that much of a rule of evidence. Whether or not and how far you have to have other rules of evidence, well, people could differ on that issue, and
Indeed.
many people do. There are differences among different evidence systems on that.